Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Strange Orphan. How's it going? Thanks for coming back this week. I'm still in the midst of getting my office together. As you can see, I've done a really good job of not putting anything together. I've just had like a lot of I feel like anytime I like move into a new place, I'm always like, I got ideas, but then I don't implement any of them for like months. I just let them I just stare at a wall for a long time until I decide what I want to put on it. Anyway, um, thanks for checking in. What are we working on this week? What have I been doing this week? I have been slowly but steadily uh working my way back out into the world, re-entry into society. I've been I've been doing dating. I've been doing humans again. What a bizarre What a bizarre act. Who invented the date? Who? I prefer the Georgian era where it was like you know someone's family history, you know if they've killed someone or not. You know if they've shot someone in a duel. You know how much land they own. They come to your house like 3 times, at most 4 for tea. There's maybe a dinner, and then it's like hand in marriage. Boom. It's such a weird time to be getting back out there, given that there's like robots. Everyone's dating a robot, but still, I think we should be optimistic and shoot for humans. It's really funny. The other day I was the other day I was at a coffee shop, and 2 guys have asked me out in coffee shops now, and bless them. I was like so happy that they did. I was like rooting for them. I was like, yeah, because you could see the like terror on their face, and they were like nervous to do it, and they had to like get themselves like kind of like ready. And I was just so proud of them. Like, I'm just so proud that there's still interpersonal human interaction going on, like on a genuine level, and that people aren't just like buried in their phones. Because I was like so flattered and happy. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to go out with you. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm a monk. Sorry, not for me. But good for you for doing that. So that's sort of been, I don't know, I was really rooting for those guys. So yeah, but it can be a very devastating landscape to be trying to pop back into at 40. I've just changed so much. Like, what do I like? Like, what do I want to do now? Where do you go? I wrote this thing for the New Yorker like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. It was just about how, like, when you go back to old bars that you used to go to, you're like old now. And everyone was like, that's not true. I'm young. And somebody like found me and wrote on my Instagram, like, I've had the best sex I've ever had. And I was like, I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying we're older. What? It was very strange. I really triggered a lot of people with that one. And then, yeah, it's really fascinating dating at this age because you're also dealing with like someone might have kids. And then all of a sudden you could be like an instant camp counselor. They're not yours technically, but you should keep them alive. That falls on you now. And yeah, there's just a lot to consider. It's a completely new terrain. I think, and then like coming out of like having healed a lot, you sort of feel like you've done time. Like I honestly feel like I've served a prison sentence. And now I'm like, okay, they let me out. Let's try this again. But it's also like a very funny paradox. It's like once you've done the work on yourself and you're healed enough to be ready to like go dive into to really hold a real fulfilling relationship, the irony is that then all of a sudden you don't really want one or need one. You're like, I'm kind of good. Like all those things that you were hoping to like fill up inside you, you kind of did on your own with Tolstoy, and you're like, oh, okay, nah. But what I have been enjoying about re-entering the dating scene, um, I think after you've done so much work on yourself, like you've changed so much that dating just becomes this like very fascinating mirror to how different you are in the world now. Yeah, it's so interesting because like so much of the healing I've done has been to like, I how do I say this? Like I'm actually a very feminine, creative energy, and like that was sort of a negative growing up because it was deemed like not responsible enough, or like because there was no one in control, I had to put my real energy aside to then become this like assertive figure that I wasn't. And so, the parentified child, they call them. And so you're like, well, I'm not a child anymore, but I don't want to be, but there's certain things I would like to take off my back that a relationship would would encourage or would allow. And yeah, and it's nice to have reflection from another human being. Everyone says like we heal in relationship. And I think if you're dealing with like a massive wound, no, you have to heal that on your own. But in terms of reflection of yourself, we need reflection. We're human beings. We need to let people see us and reflect back to us that we're worthy of love. And that's what you lose when you spend so much time away from relationships. And I think it's just like opening yourself back up to receiving that is a really brave and tough thing to do. Um, it's not easy, especially if there's still some like vapors of old wounds you're working through. That's when you should be dating again. Like I would say I've done so much work on myself. I mean, I've been in like hermit mode. But when you come out of it and you're like, all right, I'm ready. I feel like myself, but 2.0, 3.0. When you're in that space, that's actually when you should be coalescing with people and meeting people and um, having people reflect you back to you. That's an important time. It's like feedback you really need, and it keeps you human. It really does. So I guess I'm just trying to stay human as much as possible. Because I'll tell you this, as someone who has gone through the kind of strange terrain of breaking up with family, it's really easy to just get on planet you and then hang out there and be like, I'm good. I don't want to be judged by anybody. I don't want to be hurt by anyone again. I don't want to be criticized by anyone anymore. But I would encourage you, like if you have done the deep work where you've really looked at the painful stuff, to then get back out and get back out around people. And you don't even have to like get into a serious relationship. It's just good to get some reflection. If anything, to show you how much you've grown and you've changed and how much you've got your back. I think for me, one of the biggest things I'm most proud of, like I go on dates now and I'm so proud of the way that I'm able to just like let a date suck. And I say that with love, meaning like I was such a deep self-abandoner that for me it was more important that the date was not awkward than it was for me to stay in my own energy and be true to myself, that I would turn dates into like late night talk show appearances where it's like it went so smoothly and so great, but you really don't know how you feel about that person because you were just trying to get them to like laugh and smile the whole time like you were trying to do for your folks. So now dates for me are like, no, I'm gonna just, if someone says something that I don't find, that I don't agree with or I don't love, you just let it sit there. Like, you don't have to fill the gap. You don't have to make it so easy for them to live. Let them show you who they are. And so I've been really pleased with being able to be in the awkwardness of a date now and just let it be awkward and not waste my energy. And there might be a little bit of a lag time too for you. Like, sometimes you'll go on a date and you'll be like, I did not like the way I carried myself. Like, I tried too hard. That's fine. Just come back to yourself. Don't give up entirely. I say this because it's also, it's not lost on me that I think Sunday is Father's Day, right? And I think for a lot of like the daughters out there, if you're anything like if you're anything like me, um, like dating used to feel like somebody you have to earn love from. It's not like, let me go on this date to see if I like you and to investigate your morals and if you're a good enough person for me. It was always flipped the opposite way. It was always like, let me charm this person. Let me show them how charming I am. And wow, healing can really help you completely flip that narrative in your mind. It's so funny, like, when you don't have a strong dad in your life, you don't know what dating is. Like, you don't know what dates are for. Dates are not for, does this feel sexy and good? Dates are not like, can he spoil me? Dating is like inquiries. It's inquiring into a person to see if they will, like, is this man or woman, just depending on what energy you are, is this person going to provide for me the security and the foundational support that my father showed me growing up, and for my future self or children to flourish in my life? And like, if you didn't have a father that showed you what you deserve, that you deserve to flourish, you're not going to know what dates are. You're not going to know that dates are to inquire into the other person if they're going to be a decent counterpart to your life and if they're going to help your life flourish. Otherwise, you're taking on a person that just makes you feel good. Very silly thing to do. Your brain is wired to look for reassurance rather than looking for the right criteria. But a lot of us didn't have a dad that reflected all the stuff that you needed to feel empowered, worthy, valued, loved, precious. All these things that need to be so deeply ingrained in you. So that when you're out dating in the world, you're not looking for someone to validate you in any way. You're trying to see if this is someone that can be a good fit for you. Like, a lot of us don't know what dating is. And yeah, like, I have such a resume of self-abandonment because I had a father that didn't teach me anything and didn't look at me and didn't show me that I deserved anything. So what are you going to do? Like, I used to think the guys that would take me away for the weekend were like a big deal. And it's like, no, that's like great for him. Like, he's having a great time. You are wandering around Miami feeling very alone because the person you've come with is off buying pot and won't talk to you. Bankers, man. What a loser. I was 27. That guy was like 41. He was such a loser. He was such a loser. But if I had had a father and told him that story of like, hey, so I went to Miami for the weekend with this guy, and then he kind of left me at Chiconi's to go get high. A real dad would be like, I'm coming to Miami to freaking get you, or get on a plane right now and come home. Stop being a ding dong. But I didn't have anybody I could call with that story. In fact, I kept dating that guy. And then he wound up buying a house in the Hamptons. And he was like old. He was like 40, and he kept wanting to throw parties. And I was like, can we just have like less drugs here? I hated drugs. I don't do drugs. And he just wanted to have like all these loser parties. And he wound up kicking me out on 4th of July. Because I was like, can you please stop doing I asked him to stop leaving his mushrooms in the kitchen. Because I couldn't tell which ones were real and which ones were drugs. And he kicked me out. He kicked me out, and my friend Tommy had to go get my tennis racket from his house. So, yeah, but this Father's Day, you should definitely it's funny. I'm a Christian, and you could be whatever religion you are. It doesn't matter. But I think so much of healing work is spiritual work, right? And if you just come around to the idea that there is like a loving creator that is represented in all of us, you kind of come to the idea that like, oh, you do have a father that is like working behind the scenes, right? And so the need to be validated or be chosen or be picked or be called back on dates with people, it goes away. There's less of a need for a human, like a fallible human, to fill something in you because you're already like chosen, as cheesy as it sounds. I mean, it's true. It doesn't mean you don't need like love and relationship and reflection and stuff that like, a human being gives you. That's all valid, and we need that stuff. And that's why it's good to get back into dating. But it's really nice if you can keep in the back of your mind, like, the fact you're here on Earth, the fact that, like, we have fingerprints and there's a God that, like, makes everything happen is enough to be like, oh, I'm good enough to not perform for this guy like a little circus clown. You know? Just keep yourself solid. I think the number one thing in dating, I'm a Libra, first of all, but a lot of the work is finding that balance between me and we. For me, it's always been, how do I find that balance between not losing myself in a relationship? And when you've come from a home where you weren't filled up with love enough, it's really easy to like think that the relationship you'll just dive into and it'll be like this hot tub and it'll just be this glorious relationship that feels so good all the time. But really, that's so dangerous because you can really lose your compass that way. And I think in all the work I've done on myself, finding that state of like sovereignty, even with someone that is healthy and loving and sees my value and all that stuff, maintaining a sense of sovereignty is how you like maintain your compass to the divine. Doesn't matter how healthy your relationship you wind up in is, you always want to have that sort of like compass of you, of of divine, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like your antenna. You always want to keep that a clear radio station. So when it comes to like relationships and that dance between you and other and boundaries and all the things that we weren't taught in our early homes. Um, I guess it's just a dance. And keeping sovereignty at like the as like the main radio station that you try to stay at is key, I think. Especially if you're like someone that's not done that in the past. I don't know if I should share this. I might cut it, but I've been celibate for the past 5 years. And I've loved it. I've loved it. I have never had, if you're someone with like weak boundaries, or you've just like, I've just really been trying to get my energy as pure and clear as possible. Um, it's the greatest. It's so great. I feel like I don't even, I might never touch another person again. No, but I think if you were someone with leaky energy and you've always been a people pleaser, or you've always been a whatever, our energy is so sacred, and some of us don't know what our energy is. Like, some of us don't know what our antenna read meter is. And if you just want to get your antenna really crystal clear, don't be letting anybody's energy into your system. Like, take an energy break, take an energy sabbatical, especially if you have issues with self-abandonment in the past. It's the best thing you can do. And I have loved it. I mean, I've gone so far I feel like I could join a monastery at this point. Oh, I have like dreamed of joining a monastery. I just think it'd be so peaceful, and like, I would be really cool if it was just like me and the divine forever. I'd be cool with it. I don't know. I've Walden Ponded myself, maybe. I've Thomas Mertoned myself. But I'm cool with it. I had a girlfriend who was like really into, she just like needed something from guys. And I was like, I think you have to go in the opposite direction. I think you need to like get away from these all these sexual encounters for a little while, because sex is so much more than just sex, right? Like, sex is Kundalini energy. It's like our power, it's our creative energy, it's our life force. It makes babies, it makes books, it makes the most incredible things come to fruition in this world. So if you're using your most powerful energy and your most sacred space incorrectly on idiots, you're really blowing it. You're blowing it. It's like, why? What are you doing? Clean that up. So get rid of all these ding dongs. And I'll say this, if you're a woman that is like trying to birth something, if you're trying to get your money right and your projects right, get the guys out of the way. Get the guys out of there. And if you're a man and you're a little lost on your purpose and you're a little lost on your way, stop talking to the women. Like, anything cheap, it doesn't fulfill you in the long term. And if anything, they're like these immediate distractions that just keep you from fulfilling your purpose. I heard once that like basketball player wives will abstain sex from their husbands until after a game, because I think that like helps them win. Stuff like that's true. Like, we got to use our most powerful energy in the right way. I heard this other thing that night, is that this woman was like, right before she orgasms, she makes a manifestation wish. So there's different ways you could go with it. But if you're going to let someone's energy into your orbit, into your sacred place, it better be somebody worth it, or you're stuck with that energy for a while. And I don't want to be stuck with anybody's energy. No thanks. Gross. But then, you can go too far. Like I said, we do need each other, and we need the interaction and the healthy reflection from one another. And so it is good to date, but I'm just never going to be on the apps. Like, you got to be kidding me. I'm not doing that. No thanks. Bye. Nope. No, it just feels like, I've opened up the door and like 1,000 wasps have come in the house. Like, I'm not doing that ever. But yeah, once you've healed, it can be very weird. It can be very weird getting back out there. So I applaud anybody who's trying to do it right now. And yeah, like if the Father's Day is at all a bummer for you this year, and you don't have that dad, if you don't have that great dad image grilling burgers in the backyard and taking you for ice cream, you got to become that kind of containment for yourself. I think that's one of the things I worked on the most in my healing, is like all the ways that I was very like flimsy with real life stuff. I always was like, well, someone will just deal with, like, someone else will take care of that for me. And it's like, no, you have to become your own father in that regard, and so that you don't get bamboozled by someone, that you don't just wind up with someone who takes advantage of you in some aspects. I think of that great quote by, was it Ruth Bader Ginsburg, maybe, who said, like, look, all the qualities that you want in a husband, write them down and then become them. And I don't think she meant it in a sense of like, go out and become a stockbroker, if that's what you're looking. I think she meant it in the way of like the attributes that you want to find someone so that they'll save you. You have to save yourself first. Like, you have to become those aspects for yourself, so you can be more protected and you can attract them. And she's absolutely right. It's like all the ways that I was hoping someone would father me. Yeah, I just did it myself. I just cut to the chase and did it myself. And I mean, this is coming from someone who wrote a TV show called Daddy, moved to a different country, and tried to make it. So it's not lost on me that that father longing is real. But the more I've dug into father longing is the word that's getting stuck in the back of my throat. The more I've dug into father longing, the more I've found that it's actually really about a sense of containment in the universe. And that might sound abstract, but just go with me on this. I think fathers give us our sense of foundation, like a foundational essence and a foundational core, and like a sense of lineage and place in this world. Someone the other day said, like, people won't die for money or their job, but they'll die for identity. And that's why people get so tied and attached to countries and to soccer teams. Go Scotland. It's a sense of identity that we get from our fathers, that we have a sense of place in this world, and like a sense of almost like an ancestral family tree that gives us roots. So when you don't feel like you are tethered to the paternal in any way, for a woman and for a man, it can leave you feeling kind of untethered in the world. And I think if you're a really highly creative person, that's an uneasy feeling. That's an uncomfortable feeling to be like, oh, I'm not claimed by someone. There's like a sociologist that wrote that like the way you see your father is the way you ascribe the divine to to treat you, the way you believe the divine functions in your life. It's like, woo, woo, whoops, I don't love that. So if you had a very absentee, it's like so many people that write to me. It's like loony mom, absent dad, you know, dismissive father. And that is a very, it leaves like a hollow place in the heart. And unless you do the work to find that sort of father in the divine, in any sense of um like a greater picture, it can leave you feeling kind of untethered. So I've done a lot of work on just like learning like who my real father is and having a lot of faith in that and letting that be a really grounding force and taking that out into the world as like a as like an anchor, you know, because the world's a loony place and you got to stay grounded, especially if you're a loony artist, which a lot of us are, you know. So these are all things I've been thinking about and reflecting on this week as I venture out into the great old landscape of love. Yeah, right. Half these dates, I'm like, can I bring my dog? People are like, okay, sure. Why not? Why not? It's quite hot here in Austin, so she limits my. You know what a great out for a bad date is? My dog's thirsty. We've got to go. I've got to go. My dog's tired. Sorry. I've got to go. Mm, bye. My dog is funny because I think girl Frenchies like men and boy bulldogs like women. There's like a weird psychological thing. She goes up to men all the time and just sits on their feet so they can't move. And then I have to talk to them. But um, she doesn't pick the right people to go up to. I'm still trying to train her. No, not that one. That one. She needs to have better discernment. Discernment. Dating is all about discernment. It's true. Think if you're a strange orphan, if you have done the work to like A, survive your house, and B, get healed on all the stuff that happened to you in your house, and then C, still have a chummy, plucky attitude about it, you deserve a freaking medal. You deserve like the greatest guy or girl out there. You deserve someone who celebrates you. I think that's my thing is like, I just have become so impressed with myself that I'm like, if you're not impressed by me, get the heck out of here. Get out. But it's true. I'm quite I'm quite chuffed with my I'm quite chuffed with myself. I have things that I'm still working on. Don't you worry. I have a lot of things that I'm still trying to adult on. I hate logistical. I hate logistical stuff. I'm partially dyslexic. So if you put like a spreadsheet in front of me, it's like that scene in with Russell Crowe, like with A Beautiful Mind. It's like I can't even see it. What is this? Get this out of here. So there's certain things I need a relationship for. spreadsheets, driving at night, driving in general. I still don't have my driver's license. Since I've come back to the UK, I have not gotten a driver's license. I'm bad with like the housekeeping stuff, like life's housekeeping, bad at. Bad at. Joy, creativity, birthing ideas, decorating homes in Italy, great at. But manifesting, wonderful at. But like taxes? No. But you don't want me for taxes. You don't want me for that stuff. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it for the week. Stay tuned. I'll keep you updated on what we're doing next week. And by the way, like, have a really great Father's Day weekend because you deserve it. You are your daddy now. And that's a really cool, empowering thing. You're daddy now. How great. How great is that? I love you very much. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Yeah. Okay. See you next week. Bye.